Hello, people. This is Fire Breather 238, and we'll be going about what if Deku had the UNSC army as his quirk. Now, this My Hero Academia AU will be a little different, where he was misdiagnosed to being quirkless. He was bullied by everyone, including Bakugo, like in regular the canon series of the anime and manga. And then Deku was then, and basically everything plays out the same all the way until the rooftop scene where All Might told Izuku that he couldn't become a hero without a quirk. This resulted in Izuku in denial, his mind finally broke, and he finally accepted fate that he couldn't become a hero because he didn't have a quirk. So, after All Might left him on the roof alone, Izuku ended up his mind went into a suicidal state. It ended up where he took off his book bag, his jacket, his coat, his shoes, and walked toward the railing. And literally, he would think about everything that happened to him. And, he does have a mother he cares about, but he feels like she's only doing it because she loves, she loves him. There's no doubt about that. But, he doesn't even know how much she really loves him. So, he ended up finally just giving up entirely and just try to end it all, hoping to take Bakugo's advice and hope to get a quirk in the next life. So he ended up free falling off the roof of the rooftop building he was left in, and was pulling toward the ground. As his mind was completely blank, he was completely not caring at all. Then out of nowhere, something caught him from falling towards the ground, and literally landed safely on the ground too. When Izuku opened his eyes to see who caught him, he saw a person that looked like a man wearing strange armor he'd never seen before, and everybody looking at him kind of confused and weirded out. And literally, Izuku asked who he was, and why he saved him. And the person just said that, I am a ODST trooper of the UNSC army, and the reason why I saved you because, well, you automatically summoned me to save you. Izuku was just confused and trying to figure out what he meant by he automatically have him save him, where he didn't want to be saved. He wanted to die so he can, until he started realizing he wanted to test something. So for a soldier come out of nowhere and save him, a person to come out and save him out of nowhere, no idea who he is. But then he started thinking about it, and he started getting while he was staring at the soldier, he was getting information in his head from something else, out of nowhere. He started getting military tactics, weapons, armor, soldier names, until about 5 minutes later he was out, he was done, and he recognized it as a UNSC soldier, and Izuku didn't know how he'll do it until he thought about summoning a Marine from the UNSC. So he thought about it. He ended up summoning a squad of UNSC Marines, and when they arrived, they saluted to him. That we realized that his quirk must have awakened. He was sworn he was diagnosed as quirkless. So when he rushed towards home with the soldiers still following him all the way back to the house, which he's going to explain to his mother. So when he arrived home, his mother was still inside the house. So he told him about the soldier that saved him, and when he explained about it, he tried, she didn't believe that he had a quirk because she was told that he was quirkless. Then he summoned another squadron. He summoned another squad of Marines right in front of her. That basically just shocked her to another level, and literally, she wanted to take him to the doctor, but she also wanted to make sure these soldiers were fine. So he ordered them to stay. He ordered the two squads to stay behind at the house and guard it, while the OST soldier would come with them and protect them, which they obliged with no rejection to this order. So Izuku, Inko, and the OST soldier went to the doctor to see about Izuku's quirk, to see if possible that he was a late bloomer or something happened. So apparently, they examined the doctors again, and they found out that the result that the doctor told them was the wrong one. That they misdiagnosed Izuku's diagnosis with someone else's. And it turns out that his quirk is called ODSC, where he can actually, UNSC, where he can able to summon or generate weapons, armor, and soldiers of the UNSC army of the Halo universe. So after that, Izuku ended up pretty much having new thoughts about the whole thing, figuring out what to do with it, since he doesn't know his power he wields yet. He doesn't know how strong his power is, what the limits of his power. Can he able to summon a small bunch of soldiers, or can he buy a large portion of the army? So he ended up, luckily, before his father abandoned them, they had a campsite, a 50 acres, 100. They own 100 acres of land in the forest, and basically it was owned by the Midoriya household, basically owned by Izuku's father, who left it for them, even though he was disappointed. He thought someone was quirkless, so he ended up pretty much working differently. So left them anyway. So Izuku ended up thinking about trying to figure out how to use his power to help people on a different scale, not just becoming a pro hero, but maybe a hero on a different playing field, not a vigilante group, but more a corporation or a military, like a police and pro hero private military firm. So they end up creating he ended up taking about 15 miles of that 100 acres his family owns and turning into his first forward base operations for his army, where he's basically creating weapon factory, vehicle factory, barracks for his soldiers can sleep, able to generate more soldiers in case he might need them, and he create every branch of the military, from regular Marines to straight up Spartans. So he ended up creating them. So then he planned to use them in different cases. So he ended up he created the soldiers for different reasons. Like he had like right now like that first month of construct after a month after he awakened his quirk, he had about close to 50,000 soldiers at his disposal, and more making on the way, or more generating on the way. So he had his soldiers kind of spread out throughout his hometown, plus most of Japan, having some of his forces inside the police force or government military to help them increase at least morale and able to make sure people know they feel safe with some soldiers, additional soldiers. Then there's the let's see. After pretty much he then also that then the second month he ended up doing more. Like he ended up pretty like he has secret military bases, like small bases throughout all Japan. Like he has one in Henshu, one in the can't think what it was. Like one in Hinkdoro, or don't know what that one called really. But yeah, he has like his forces spread out throughout Japan's region. Like most of his army is spread throughout Japan and is focused on creating new things for it. He also has some of the forces like near UA as well, to make sure they feel more safe having he helping heroes as well as the police, while also helping UA on the bigger stuff. Like he's helping UA with the when it comes to security, since everybody knows the kind of UA security kind of bad, so they have his army ready to roll when needed. Then there's the then during his Izuku ended up expanding some of his army to Island and Namas Island for security reasons. It's like so they will also feel safe, since I feel like it makes sense they would be attacked by villains to some occasion, not just from the movies. But anyway, so after he was expanding his forces, he was also getting stronger with his quirk. Also trained to how to use a gun, how to equip armor, how to command forces, everything. Military tactics started getting more and more better with him. So he also started his first bunch of Spartan soldiers, which basically would be like the elites of the police and his forces. Like he will have some of the forces, like the Spartans will be like scattered throughout most Japan, like on other between undercover black ops or some other kind of operation with the police and militaries, and also himself with his own army as well. So then there's his vehicles he has created: the Warhogs, the Scorpion tanks, the basically most of his vehicles will be there, and he's also using David Shields' way to create his ships, like his frigates. Really, like not really. He's more kind of like just in case something would happen, not sure what. Like if the hero need a ship, they have it. So when about during the months he been expanding his territory through most Japan, about close to 30% of Japan was already in the 4 months. Yeah, in the 5 months since he started construction, about 50% of Japan had UNSC protection on most of them, and expanding quick, but not quick, but neutral speed sort of. So then we got to the UA entry exam, where he led a squad of soldiers with him, with basically about a squad full of about 12 soldiers, and at least 6 of them are medics, and 3 of them are medics, 3 are demolition team, and the rest are pretty much regular soldiers. And he also has 2 Spartans with him as well, just in case something happens. So he has those with them. So during the physical exam, because he already aced the reading exam, but during the physical exam, he would get a point thanks to his forces, since the point they get will be transferred straight to Izuku, so they're part of him. So all the point that his forces gets will be straight to Izuku's. And when the Zero Pointer arrives on the battlefield, he ordered forces not to engage it at all, not to engage it unless necessary. But when Izuku sees Uraraka pinned by the rubble on the route of the Zero Pointer, he end up redoing the order, end up telling his forces not to attack the Zero Pointer, but kind of slow it down, try to do what he can to slow its movements down, shooting the tire on the wheels of the Zero Pointer, making sure they can stop and help get Uraraka out of the way so they can get out of there. After the exam, Izuku ended up pretty much just working more and more how to create better armor and weapons for himself, but also creating new ways to fight villains. He also been using his forces to infiltrate other organizations like the Shield of Saikar or the Villain Liberation Army, as well as the League of Villains as well, since he found out during his 10 months, thanks to some assets he's actually had in the criminal underworld they formed. Using thanks to his assets, he was always ahead of the villains, know how to take each of them down, he also made some vigilantes join his side, Stain, the Hero Hunter Stain had joined forces with Izuku, since he saw different Izuku saw the way Stain does. He saw the fact that pretty much that Hero Society right now focus on fame and fortune, not the people. So pretty much he gets Stain's ideal, but he does see the flaws of it, and he's trying to help them on a different scale. He don't want he don't want to become a dictator. He thinks that pretty much it would be worse if he was a dictator, kind of a dictator military. So he'll Stain see his kind of way of winning, and he kind of see, and Stain agree with it. So he kind of is in some way Izuku kind of rehabilitated Stain to see heroes. Kind of makes sense. The timeline also changed thanks to that, because now Stain won't hunt any heroes at all. He won't see it bad. He will see them bad as the way he always did, but he won't attack them thinking that he needs to kill them to do it. He'll change the way with Izuku's help. Then when Izuku finally gets into UA, he is immediately asked to be helped by Principal Nezu and the pro heroes to help upgrade UA's security again. They feel like they're security not as best at the UNSC's security base they visit over and over again. And he agrees. So he upgraded the security of. He gave the UA their own AI, new security system, new wall, new turn to make sure everything happens. A teleportation quirk blocker where it blocks any chance of anyone trying to get into the territory, into UA through teleportation. So basically, Kurogiri's quirk would not be completely useless against to try and get in. It would be if you try to teleport in, it will be extremely painful to try and get in. But in fact, so the USJ tab will kind of still happen, but it won't happen the way you would think. The League of Villains try to find a way to get inside. If they had to, I feel like for my case, they would literally try to use our technology to get inside of the USJ. Then he also met with Bakugo again, which Bakugo would kind of Izuku didn't go for the hero course. Instead, instead of going hero course, he decided to go straight for the support course. Izuku's not in the hero course, but Bakugo just didn't like him being in the UA at all. But witnessing his quirk firsthand, seeing the army he created, seeing the technology that Izuku has created thanks to his quirk, Bakugo kind of Bakugo bases his own between respects Izuku and kind of feared him because of his powers, and kind of jealous of it as well. So basically, but they kind of they have a more friendlier kind of thing now since Izuku doesn't fully forgive Bakugo entirely. He kind of he kind of see Bakugo kind of a neutral, not friend but not enemy yet. So we got that thing to get with. And Izuku will end up creating more and more forces for his soldiers to make sure they have security. And Izuku will just help as many people as he can. He will help. He's trying to slowly help make sure the outcomes different, unbeatable, unstoppable outcomes be changed. Anything from pretty much almost small stuff. And then we'll just give from almost everything to the USJ attack. So just remember, they do have the teleportation jammer, so it'll be impossible for Kurogiri to teleport them in. But I never said they can't steal that the villains can't. It's not impossible for the villains to steal technology from the UNSC. It's pretty rare, but pretty it's only a good chance. So the League of Villains have stolen some technology. Right now, Zoo has some vehicles, so the villains have stolen at least a few crates of weapons, a few assault rifles, and maybe I can't hear myself saying this, but 3 pelicans. Yes, 3 pelicans to be right. And they end up teleport again. They fly into the USJ through above, and they're forced. And Izuku forced it. Izuku was prepared, but he wasn't prepared for they're using his own technology against him. But they kind of see that he does. He kind of knew he would use it, but he didn't expect it to be this quick. So, Izuku ended up having his forces already on standby, ready to rock. So when the League of Villains attacked with the pelicans, his own pelicans, he ended up shooting them down on literally automatically. He has multiple forces on the ground, UA defense system, it pretty much now know that Izuku's own vehicle had been stolen. Not sure how they're going to identify it in the future, but they end up dealing with it later. So then it got to the Namu and Tora, the Namu. So while in the air, the Namu was deployed to the ground, was sent to the ground to deal with the heroes and All Might. So the soldiers were firing everything they have in the Namu, but basically, remember, the Namu has super regeneration and Sagudo, so both of them really do much anything, but Lily don't do anything they got. And they also, I have also forgot to mention that Zuko has upgraded to even use plasma weapons, so basically means he has upgraded his technology to the point where he's using Covenant technology to also win. So he has some Covenant weapons too. So, like, the Spartans were also there. So apparently they will help take him down with All Might on their side too. So the way they will win is that while All Might is weakening the Namu as much as he can, the Spartans will do whatever they can to get closer so they can able to do something stupid. Apparently not stupid. It kind of like they will literally throw a plasma grenade. I'm not sure that's even possible. What kind of anyway, but close to it. It'll throw a plasma grenade through the Namu's mouth into his belly and just let it explode from the inside out. It's gutty as hell, but it's still fine. Anyway, after Namu was defeated, they tried to shoot down the Pelican that Shiragi was on, but ended up escaping anyway. And now they know and now Zuko can do whatever he can to hunt down the League of Villains that stole some of his tech, while also helping the heroes trying to help the heroes hunt down any villains they need to find. Anyway, that'd be the end of part 1. I'll be doing part 2 as soon as I can. Thank you for your time. Bye.